Is there a more dramatic moment in American history than General George Washington crossing the Delaware on Christmas night, 1776? The scene was as cinematic as any to be found in war. Shivering soldiers huddled along the riverbank in a howling winter storm. Greased rags and coat skirts draped over their musket priming pans to keep them dry. Horses and cannons eased onto flatboats for ferrying through the ice floes. The men squeezed into stout Durham boats manned by oarsmen in blue jackets and tarred trousers. Torches and lanterns hissing as the snow showers intensified. The pensive commander-in-chief mounted on his sorrel horse, his ruddy face stung with sleet, urging, press on, boys." Desperation had, of course, driven Washington to this perilous moment. Desperate diseases require desperate measures, he had told Congress. Chased out of New York and across New Jersey by a large, vengeful British army, the Americans had taken refuge in Pennsylvania, while their generals contemplated how to prevent the enemy from seizing Philadelphia and destroying the Continental Army once and for all. And so Washington had conjured up a surprise attack on the Hessian garrison in Trenton. For all its melodrama, the assault shows Washington's generalship at its finest. A meticulous and personal attention to detail, including approach marches, precise timing, and the prodigal use of artillery. Also, a flair for improvisation, the demand for discipline in the most arduous circumstances, and not least, the great gift of good luck. Sweeping down Bear Tavern Road on the New Jersey side of the river, the American force split into two wings, then caught the Hessians by surprise at dawn on December 26 in a pincer assault. The garrison, by the way, was neither drunk nor hungover, as often depicted in subsequent mythology. In a brisk, bloody firefight, the attackers killed the enemy commander and a couple dozen of his men and captured 900 others. They would be paraded through the streets of Philadelphia en route to prison camps. "This affair has given new life and spirits to the cause," an American chaplain wrote. "Things begin to wear a better aspect." To my mind, even more remarkable is what Washington did next. Instead of collecting his winnings and going to winter quarters, he doubled down. After a brief return to Pennsylvania, the army again crossed the Delaware, baited the British into a costly attack on entrenched rebel positions at Trenton, then slipped away in the night to destroy the Redcoat rearguard garrison at Princeton before escaping into the high ground stronghold of North Jersey. In the space of 10 days, the British were drubbed 3 times, losing not only heavy casualties and the military initiative, but most of New Jersey. After 18 months in command, Washington had learned some bitter lessons. That war was rarely linear, preferring a path of fits and starts, ups and downs, triumphs and cataclysms. That only battle could reveal those with the requisite stamina, aptitude, and luck to see it through. And finally, the hardest of war's hard truths, that for a new nation to live, young men must die, often alone, usually in pain, and sometimes to no obvious purpose. He, more than anyone, would be responsible for ordering those men to their deaths. For all that, he remained buoyant, conveying confidence and resolve. His faith gave others faith. His strength made others strong. He displayed a knack for extemporizing and the deft escape, an ability to grab the occasion by the forelock, as a British historian later observed. As a political general, he would have few equals and no superior in American history. He had adroitly won over both the Congress and his countrymen, including wary New Englanders. Abigail Adams, the wife of John Adams, wrote that our late misfortunes have called out the hidden excellences of our commander-in-chief. Since taking command, Washington had come within a chin whisker of losing the war on several occasions. More such occasions would arise. But he had also developed a shrewd understanding of the refractory, independent peoples known collectively as Americans. "A people unused to restraint must be led," he wrote in January 1777, after the Battle of Princeton. "They will not be drove." He was a leader.
On sale now, The British Are Coming. Rick Atkinson's epic story of the American Revolution. Available from the shops at Mount Vernon or wherever books are sold.